another golf season come and gone. And even though it's a pretty nice sunny November day, the courses are closed and it'll be a long time until I can golf again. I've got to find something to do to pass the time, so I've grabbed out a big bucket of golf balls and I'm going to look through them. I think pretty much every weekend golfer has a bucket of golf balls in their garage someplace, which you may or may not ever use because a lot of them are of questionable quality, but it's still fun to go through and see what we've got here. I'm going to pick out some of my favorites. Here's an interesting one. It's a Pinnacle 3. I've always felt the Pinnacle has got to be the most lost golf ball in the history of golf balls because there are just so darn many of them out in the woods. And they're basically rocks. Giving Pinnacle a run for its money for most lost golf ball is probably these Callaway Warbirds, because you can get them at Costco. So I think a lot of us weekend duffers buy these in bulk and then end up losing them. Lots of Pinnacles. I've always felt like this bucket and the subsequent buckets that I eventually collect are going to end up being the inheritance to my kids, so they can go and lose them in the bush, just as they've been lost in the bush before this. Here's a good one. It's a Titleist Tour Balata 100, back in the days of Balata rubber, and 100 compression. Pretty dirty and pretty scored and beat up, but that's probably one you could still play today. So that's a keeper. That's got some value. Here's another great Titleist. This is a Titleist Pro V1, and it's a 392. The 392 is sort of interesting. The Pro V1 392s are really interesting because if you take a look at the marking on the side, depending on how it's typed out, you can actually tell what year it's from. This one's from 2005, and I know that because of that dash in between the Pro V1 and the 392. That marking on the side is very specific, and depending on the way it's typed out, you can tell when the golf ball was manufactured. Here's a photograph showing a bunch of 392s. Mine's got the dash in the middle, meaning it was from around 2005. Here's one of my favorites that I remember from being a kid and going to Canadian Tire and buying these bags of second run golf balls. And you don't see these anymore, at least around here. So this is a Top Flight X-Out. And these X-Out golf balls were really cool. They're not a refurbished golf ball. These are golf balls that were sold direct from the original manufacturer, but they had some sort of blemish or defect or something like that, so they couldn't be sold as sort of the top of the line new golf ball. And so they put X's through the name and they sold them anyways. And you just can't find these anymore. But as a kid, I remember loving to find these X-Outs and playing with them all the time. I mean, they play exactly the same as a regular golf ball. More Pinnacles. Here's a cool one as well. Back when Top Flight felt like it was one of the top golf ball companies, it's a Zed Balata. I feel like they made so many good, cool golf balls when I was a kid. That seemed like the ball to go with. The XL 2000, because in the early 90s, anything that said 2000 seemed very exciting and cutting edge. Here's a neat one. Oh my gosh, I have 3 of these? I've got a matched set. This is incredible. This is a Canadian icon right here. This is a Mo Norman brand golf ball, which is bizarre because I did not know Mo Norman sold his name or likeness to any golf equipment. I could find basically nothing about these Mo Norman golf balls online, other than there's a 90 compression marking on it, and then a 300 SXL marking as well. Aside from that, they're kind of a mystery. I've got one photo of what the packaging looks like, but that's it. And I did not buy these golf balls. I definitely found these in the bush somewhere. So whoever lost the whole sleeve of Mo Norman golf balls, number 2, sorry about your luck. It was a rough day in the links. Here's a Wilson Staff Titanium. right? Titanium was such a revolution in golf clubs. I guess putting it into golf balls seemed like a good marketing move as well. Here's a Srixon. That's the ball that I'm playing mostly these days, are Srixons. So that one might go back into the bag, actually. Slazenger. That was the James Bond golf ball, I think. In Goldfinger, Slazenger.
Here it is.
No, it's not. He plays a Slazenger 1.
What else have we got? Ooh, the Top Flight Strata. That was a good ball. Tour 90. Oh, yeah. Gotta have one of those. Here's a Nike One Tour. This was a decent golf ball, as I recall. When Nike came on the scene, they were making like a multi-layer ball, and they were pretty popular before they got into the hard goods business. This has got to be the oldest one in the bucket. This is really cool. It's a Spalding Canada Cup. The dimple pattern on this is crazy. It definitely is old. It's kind of yellowed. It's in not bad shape aside from that. There's no cracks or anything like that. And I mean, you just don't see Spalding golf balls anymore. I mean, it's tough to see the markings on this Canada Cup, but it's definitely a Spalding. Looking around online for these, it was cool to see some of the packaging used for this ball. It looks like they're individually wrapped up, kind of like a Christmas orange. And even better, they were manufactured in Canada, which I think is just awesome, because I don't know of any golf balls today that are manufactured in Canada. That's a really neat one. That has got to be the best ball in this bucket of balls.